everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Sandeep Johri as part of our big picture set of candid conversations.
Thanks for inviting me.
Take us through your life.
My journey, I've been in the US now for 37 years. I grew up in Bombay, came here for a master's in engineering in Detroit. I was in the auto industry and heard about Silicon Valley. This is back in '85 or so. But I came to California and I heard that companies in California and Silicon Valley let you come in and leave office anytime you want, and they let you wear any clothes. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And once I graduated, I obviously wanted to do tech, so I spent some time, a few years in consulting. And then I worked at Silicon Graphics for a few years. Right about then, '96, I decided to take the plunge and started my first company, Oblix, which was an identity management company, then sold that to Oracle. And then I was done with big companies. So came back to startups, and I've been at Tricentis now for 7.5 years.
Given your prolific career and experience, what are, let's say, 2 to 3 core pieces of advice that you would have for entrepreneurs, especially tech entrepreneurs, again, who are building product in India or have some sort of an India angle?
In the enterprise space, leadership matters. Global leadership matters. There are plenty of examples where companies coming out of India have been able to create a global presence. Number 2, focus. When I talk to Indian entrepreneurs, sometimes they try to be too many things to too many people. You've got to define your focus area and get to domination. You could be in what would be considered a niche at one point or a boring space at one point. But if you can be the best at that takes you other places. You want to define a pond where you can be the biggest fish. When Google started, right, and I remember hearing about it because Motwani, Rajiv, they did only one thing, which is search, which at that time was considered a boring thing because Yahoo and 15 other companies had already kind of done it. But they only focused on search. I don't know if you remember the first time you used Google. I remember it. And I remember searching and I'm like, whoa, wow. Imagine if Google had launched as search, email, all the Google productivity products, right?
Right.
Imagine if they had launched with all of that. They would have smelled like Yahoo and no one would have bothered and they wouldn't have been good at anything. So the second point I was making is focus.
Brilliant piece of advice and a great Google, I think, is a great example. So look, one of the conundrums, right? One of the issues that entrepreneurs usually run into is, do I build a company for the long run? Do I want to sort of do the IPO thing and become the next Zuckerberg, or do I actually go ahead and do the M&A thing? What is your advice from an exit standpoint? What should entrepreneurs be focused on, or maybe not focused on, as they think about liquidity and that particular milestone?
It really depends on circumstances. It depends on the entrepreneur's objectives. It depends on their situation. It depends on how well your original thesis is working. On the one hand, you have to be that irrational, otherwise you would never do it. On the other hand, as the CEO, you can't be irrational about all your decisions. You've got to be real about it too.